In the spotlight tonight is Godfrey Newham from Cumbria, a retired care home proprietor, and his specialist subject is Vorticism. Tom King from Wickford, a journalist whose subject is Piers of the English Seaside. Thomas Dyer from Bristol, a retired biochemist, and his chosen subject, the life and work of Elizabeth Smart. And Robin Chapman from Exeter, a university lecturer whose subject is One Foot in the Grave. Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. It's the second round stage, and that means that all of tonight's contenders have already won a heat, and they're now battling it out for a place in our grand final. They are that close to becoming the next Mastermind, but only one of them will go through, and I'm sure you know the rules by now, so let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Godfrey Newham.
Your occupation?
Retired care home proprietor.
And your chosen subject?
Vorticism.
Vorticism. 2 minutes, starting now. Which American poet and critic is credited with coining the term Vorticism in 1913?
Ezra Pound.
Correct. The original full-body version of which sculpture by Jacob Epstein was displayed at the London Group exhibition in March 1915 before being remodelled as a torso?
The Rock Drill.
Correct. Who claimed that he suggested the title Blast for the avant-garde arts magazine, first published in July 1914?
Nevinson.
Yes. What is the title of Wyndham Lewis's 1918 work showing 4 soldiers, one of whom appears to be carrying a wounded man, which is currently in the collection of the Imperial War Museum?
Pass.
What is the title of the large picture painted by William Roberts in 1918 for the Canadian War Records Office?
That was the first German gas attack at Ypres.
Yes. Which vorticist spent much of the First World War doing voluntary work in France and in later life turned completely to abstract work until her death in 1939?
Jessica Dismore.
Yes. In which restaurant did Wyndham Lewis design a vorticist dining room in 1916?
Tour Eiffel.
Yes. At which club did the only vorticist show in New York open in January 1917?
Penguin Club.
Correct. Which signatory of the Vorticist Manifesto in Blast worked on camouflaging ships applying decorative schemes devised by Norman Wilkinson in 1917?
Wadsworth.
Yes. What name is given to the so-called design contributed by Nevinson of the second issue of Blast, which is an abstract depiction of soldiers?
Pass.
After the Great War, under what name did a number of the vorticists regroup and exhibit their works in spring 1920?
Group X.
Correct. What's the title of William Roberts' first Cubist oil exhibited at the New English Art Club in December 1913?
Pass.
Which of the Blast Manifesto signatories was a professional photographer who turned to painting between the wars?
Malcolm Arbuthnot.
Correct. In which street did Frida Strindberg found the artist club called the Cave of the Golden Calf in 1912?
Pass.
Which French sculptor enlisted in the French army in 1914 and was killed in action the following year, his death being reported in the second issue of Blast?
Henry Gaudier-Jeska.
Correct. Whose name was not included in the signatories of the manifesto in Blast, even though he contributed 4 drawings to the periodical?
Pass.
And that is your time up. The last one was Frederick Etchells. His name was not included in the signatories. Heddon Street was where Frida Strindberg found the Artists' Club. The Return of Ulysses was the title of William Roberts' Cubist oil. On the Way to the Trenches was the name given to the design contributed by Nevinson. And Officers and Signallers was the title of Wyndham Lewis's work. 5 passes, Godfrey Newham. You have 11 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Tom King.
Your occupation?
Local journalist.
And your chosen subject?
Pleasure Piers of the English Seaside.
Pleasure Piers. In 2 minutes, starting now, which noted civil engineer was responsible for the design of the second Southend Pier built between 1887 and 1891?
Grunlees.
Yes. What name was given to Southend Pier when the Admiralty used it as a convoy assembly point during World War II?
HMS Lee.
Yes. Which promenade pier begun in 1813 was the first to be built in Great Britain?
Ryde.
Correct. In 1884, the running of Cleethorpes Pier was taken over by which railway company that later became part of the LNER?
Wright Hedson.
Manchester, Sheffield and Lincolnshire. Which pleasure pier, rebuilt after a ship collided with it in 1924, is now the most northerly in England?
Saltburn.
Yes. Brighton's West Pier and which other English pier are the only 2 to be Grade 1 listed structures?
Clevedon.
Yes, the pier in which resort was the location of the 1957 film Barnacle Bill, starring Alec Guinness?
Hunstanton.
Yes, which foundry company provided the ironwork for Morecambe's West End Pier and Colwyn Bay's Victoria Pier?
The Waterloo.
Widnes. In 1914, which radical group was suspected of having burned down the pavilion on the Britannia Pier in Great Yarmouth, having been refused permission to hold a meeting there?
Pass.
Which of the two piers at Weston-super-Mare is named after a small island which it links to the shore?
Burnbeck.
Yes. What was the name of the exotic structure that opened on Blackpool's North Pier in 1874, was destroyed in a blaze in 1921?
The Moorish Pavilion.
The Indian Pavilion. Which company operated the Bell steamer fleet and was responsible for the development of piers at Southwold, Lowestoft and Felixstowe?
Coastal Development Company.
Yes. What was the name of the prolific pier designer who was responsible for 14 piers around the British coast, including Eastbourne and Scarborough?
Birch.
Yes. Which English pier was enlarged with the addition of a 1,000-seat Moorish pavilion in April 1904?
St Anne's.
Yes. What was the name of the concrete motor ship that badly damaged Southend Pier in a collision in 1921?
Violetta.
Yes. Which of Brighton's piers was destroyed by a storm in December 1896?
The Chain Pier.
Yes. What was the title of the long-running concert party entertainment presented annually on Blackpool North Pier by the music publisher Lawrence Wright?
On with the show.
Correct. Which pier near Redcar was damaged in a collision with the Berger in 1898 and demolished the following year?
Cotham.
Yes. Which feature of Great Yarmouth, I've started so I should finish, which feature of Great Yarmouth's Wellington Pier was bought from Torquay at the beginning of the 20th century?
The Winter Garden.
Yes, indeed. One pass. It was the suffragettes suspected of burning down the pavilion. You have, Tom King, 15 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Thomas Dyer,
Your occupation?
retired biochemist.
And your chosen subject?
The life and works of Miss Elizabeth Smart, 1913-1986.
Elizabeth Smart, in 2 minutes, starting now. Which Canadian Prime Minister, a neighbour of the Smart family at Kingsmere, banned by Grand Central Station I Sat Down and Wept at the instigation of Smart's mother in 1945?
Pass.
What was the title taken from Blake's poem Tyriel of the novella she referred to as her mother book?
Let us dig a grave and bury our mother.
Yes. What is the name of the credited co-author with Smart of Cooking the French Way, which was first published in 1957?
Pass.
Which of her poems contains the lines, "It was my job to explain the world, it was my job to get the words right"?
Pass.
Which magazine hired Smart as a sub-editor in 1949?
House and Garden.
Yes. Which of her works did George Barker review for the Tablet in March 1977 under the pseudonym Anna Cryon?
The Assumption of Rogues and Rascals.
A bonus. What was the title of the poem by Barker that she bought in manuscript for $25, thus effectively beginning their relationship?
Who can speak from a room or a cloud?
Yes. Which of her poems contains the lines, "Waiting for 60 years till the people take out the horses and draw me to the theatre with triumphant voices"?
Pass.
In Dig a Grave and Let Us Bury Our Mother, what is the bringer of tears and whipper up of the blood?
Pass.
With whom did Smart travel around the world as a personal secretary and companion from the summer of 1936?
Mrs. Alfred Watt.
Yes. Who in By Grand Central Station I Sat Down and Wept asks, "Then I have it from you, there is such a thing as love"?
Mr. Witcher.
Mr. Wurtle. Before she started work on it, Smart referred to a garden at the Dell as an old pit shaped like which country on the map?
Australia.
Yes. What was the real name of Yanko with whom Smart began a relationship when she visited him in Cassis in 1938?
Jan Varda.
Yes. In her journal, Smart refers to her son Christopher by what other name when he's unwell after a vaccination in 1944?
Pass.
Smart studied music theory with Mr. Hinton, but what was the name of the concert performer with whom she studied the piano when she moved to London in the 1930s?
Margaret Goodson.
No, Catherine Goodson. In which journal was the story that became part 5, I'll finish the question, of the Assumption of the Rogues and Rascals, first published in 1951?
Bottega Cura.
Yes, Bottega Oscura, yes. Okay. You had 6 passes. Giffy, or Jiffy, was the way she referred to her son Christopher. Music was the bringer of tears and whipper up of blood. The poem containing those lines, "Waiting for 60 years, etc., was Trying to Write. Rose Died was the poem containing the line, "It was my job to explain the world." Agnes Ryan was the name of the credited co-author of Cooking the French Way. And Mackenzie King was the Canadian Prime Minister. You have, Thomas Dyer, 7 points.
Thank you.
And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Robin Chapman,
Your occupation?
university lecturer,
And your chosen subject?
television series One Foot in the Grave.
1 foot in the grave. In the very first episode, Victor is replaced at work by a box that, according to Mrs. Inglis, will do everything he does except what?
Moan about the air conditioning.
Yes, what item donated by Mr. Swaney's mother are the Meldrews using as a doorstop in Beware the Trickster on the Roof?
A scorpion.
A carrot cake. In the Eternal Quadrangle, what does the carpet layer think Victor's still life of a bowl of fruit next to a pink standard lamp is a picture of?
Flamingo.
Yes, in Who's Listening, when Victor sees an advert for a reproduction 200 years old antique commode, what does he suggest might be used for toilet paper?
Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yes, when Victor takes revenge on a woman who throws a can onto his front lawn, what's the final item that he pushes through her letterbox?
A dead fish.
Yes, in Dreamland, which product by Mrs. Giddis does Mr. Swaney tell Victor will be available at the annual summer fete, as usual, along with Mr. Dobkin's stall of neo-fascist insignia?
Pass.
In an episode in the second series, what does Victor accidentally burn in his garden incinerator along with his grass clippings?
A tortoise.
Yes, what is the name of the photographer played by Peter Cook in 1 Foot in the Algarve?
Pass.
When the Meldrews' house caught fire while they were on holiday, what type of company did their neighbour accidentally call instead of the fire brigade?
Singing telegram.
Yes, in the last episode of the final series, what's the name of the pub that Victor visits for a reunion of old friends?
Traveller's Rest.
Stranger's Rest. When Pippa is finally packing to move house, what object does she find that Patrick describes as a small stress-relieving device?
Pass.
According to Victor in The Secret of the Seven Sorcerers, just when you think things are never, ever going to get better, they suddenly, what?
Get worse.
Indeed, in Timeless Time, when Victor returns from switching off his car alarm, what does he have stuck on his foot?
Dead hedgehog.
Yeah, what is the number and road name of the Meldrews' new home after they're forced to move because their old house has been demolished?
10 Riverbank.
19 Riverbank. In the final series, when Patrick revisits the Meldrews on the advice of his therapist, what does he see a policeman digging up in their garden?
A bone.
A dog's bone, yes. In The Affair of the Hollow Lady, when Margaret tells the amorous greengrocer Millicent to look up trust in the dictionary, what word does she say it's next to?
Trollop.
Trollop, indeed. 3 passes, a voodoo doll was what Patrick described as a small stress-relieving object. Martin Trout was the name of the photographer played by Peter Cook. And the product made by Mrs. Giddis was homemade spam. 3 passes, Robin Chapman, 10 points.
Thank you.
So that's the first round done. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 7 points, Thomas Dyer. 3rd place with 10 points, Robin Chapman. 2nd place, 11 points, Godfrey Newham. 1st place with 15 points, Tom King. So, general knowledge now, and if there is a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes get taken into account. Let's get on with this round and ask Thomas Dyer to join us again, please. And for those who don't know about Elizabeth Smart, it was said of her by Bridget Brophy, by Grand Central Station, etc., was one of 6 masterpieces of poetic prose in the world.
Yes, that's right. I'm still looking for the other 5.
So you really think she was a great genius?
Well, I think it was a great book, but I think it was a combination of circumstances that made it great.
She was also somewhat unconventional.
Oh, yes,
she was an unmarried mother.
She did, yes. I mean, women writers are usually either die unmarried or they have large families, and Elizabeth was the only one I know who did both.
Yes, because she fell in love with a chap called George Barker. She read his poetry and was swept away by
Yes,
him.
that's right.
Chased him, caught him.
Well, she caught him, but then she couldn't hold on to him because he was a Roman Catholic and he wouldn't divorce his wife to marry her, but they did. They did have 4 children, so it wasn't a complete waste of time.
Right, well, now you have 7 points with your knowledge of her. Let us see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Pisa International Airport is named after which astronomer and scientist born in Pisa in 1564?
Galileo?
Yes, in the Magic Roundabout, what type of creature is Brian?
Brian is a snail.
Yes, which MP was fatally injured when he was hit by a train at the opening of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway in 1830?
Huskisson.
Yes, according to the Book of Daniel, what were the names of the trio thrown into a fiery furnace by Nebuchadnezzar after refusing to worship a golden image?
Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego.
Yes, in November 2004, who became champion flat racing jockey for the 3rd time?
Pass.
Water glass or sodium silicate was formerly used as a household preservative for which food?
Eggs.
Yes, in the game of contract bridge, what terms used to describe the exposed hand belonging to the partner of the declarer or winning bidder?
Dummy.
Yes, which Impressionist painter's reclining nude Olympia was based on Titian's Venus of Urbino?
Manet.
Yes, sufferers from which mental disorder, named after the hero of a book of fantastic travellers' tales, repeatedly feigns severe illness to obtain hospital treatment?
Munchausen syndrome.
Yes, which world-famous Canadian exhibition and rodeo was founded in 1912 by Guy Weedick, a former Wyoming cowboy?
Calgary Stampede.
Yes, in a contract of bottomry, what is pledged as security for a loan to be repaid at the end of a successful voyage?
Ship.
Yes, in which activity made illegal in Britain in 1849 was the expression battle royal used for a fight involving several combatants?
Bear baiting.
Cockfighting. According to A. Houseman's poem A Shropshire Lad, what does more than Milton can to justify God's way to man?
Malt.
Yes. Who succeeded Norman Tebbit as MP for Chingford at the 92 general election?
Pass.
Who or what was the Pink Panther in the original 1964 film?
A diamond.
Correct. Which composer's works include Pavan for a Dead Infanta and the ballet Daphnis and Chloe?
Maurice Ravel.
Yes, in November 1999, Helen Clark succeeded Jenny Shipley to become which Commonwealth country's second woman Prime Minister?
New Zealand.
Yes, which author based his stories about the spy Ashenden on his experiences in the British Secret Service during the First World War?
Willie Morn. Somerset Maugham.
Yes,
William
indeed. Somerset Maugham, indeed. Two passes, Ian Duncan Smith succeeded Norman Tebbit, and Frankie Dettori was the jockey we were looking for. Two passes, Thomas Dyer, you've gone up to 22 points.
Thank you.
And now Robin Chapman, please. One foot in the grave. What made it? He made it, presumably.
Well, first of all, the brilliant performances by Richard Wilson and Ned Crosby, and it follows in a sort of great tradition of black humour. And David Renwick sort of keeps seeing a joke in things like illness, injury, infirmity, murder, and suicide.
Yeah, laugh a minute, really.
Oh yes.
And Victor Meldrew dies in the end.
Well, I mean that is a real proper ending to a series. And, well, Victor dies, but in the series, although he has one foot in the grave, he's still sort of saying a big yes to life.
Right, you have 10 points so far.
OK.
With that, let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. Which writer, best known for his children's stories, was born in Llandaff, Cardiff in 1916 of Norwegian parents?
Roald Dahl.
Yes, which city is to host the 2008 Summer Olympics?
Peking.
Yes. What name is given to rendered and clarified pig fat when used in cooking?
Lard.
Yes. In which profession might a practitioner use articulating paper to check an occlusion?
Pass.
Who wrote the novel about a boy which was made into a 2002 film starring Hugh Grant?
Nick Hornby.
Yes. In which prison did Hitler serve 9 months of his 5-year sentence for high treason in 1924?
Munich.
Landsberg. Dulce, often eaten dried as a snack in Ireland, is an edible variety of what?
Pass.
Which word meaning odd, unconventional or extravagant is thought to derive originally from the Basque for beard?
Pass.
By what name were members of the musical and literary guilds which flourished especially in Nuremberg in the 15th and 16th centuries known?
Meistersingers.
Yes. In 1944, Raphael Lemkin, a Polish lawyer of Jewish origin, coined which word meaning the systematic destruction of a national, racial, religious or ethnic group?
Holocaust.
Genocide. Which playwright born in Dublin in 1751 became MP for Stafford in 1780 and was a minister in several Whig administrations?
Pass.
Which dialect word for an ant is used in Cornwall for a tourist?
Emmet.
Yes. Lord Foster's 41-storey-high round-tapered Swiss re-tower has been given what nickname?
Erotic gherkin.
Yes. Which two-legged meat-eating dinosaur has a name which translates roughly from Latin as speedy thief?
Velociraptor.
Yes. Whose work, The Castle of Otranto, published in the 1760s, is considered to be the first Gothic novel?
Walpole.
Yes. Which soprano made her operatic debut in Brussels in 1887 as Gilda in Rigoletto?
Melba.
Yes. Whose report on social insurance and allied services, published in 1942, declared war on the 5 giants that threaten society: want, ignorance, disease, squalor and idleness?
Beveridge.
Yes. Which British Oscar-winning actor who died in April 2005, aged 97, I'll finish the question, had a football trial in his youth with Norwich City?
Sir John Mills.
It was indeed. You had 4 passes. Sheridan was the playwright. Bizarre is the word that derives originally from the Basque for beard. Seaweed is eaten dried as a snack known as dulse. Dentistry is where you'd find them using articulated paper and so on. And those are your 4 passes. Robin Chapman, you have 22 points.
Yeah.
And Godfrey Newham now, please. I suspect you might need to tell us exactly what Vorticism is. Is it just an art movement?
It was more than an art movement, since literary figures were very much involved in its development and its continuation. The 2 most well-known would be Ezra Pound and T. Hume, the philosopher.
And what is it? I mean, if you define Vorticism.
Well, many people have given different definitions, but the idea behind Vorticism is that in modern life there is a kind of centre of cool energy in which the artist sits and observes the hurly-burly of the modern world.
Sort of the eye of the storm, in a way.
The eye of the storm, from a detached position, and so that he can represent his art the more truthfully.
Well, you have 11 points. The score you have to beat is 22. Let's see if you can do that with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. In which cup-shaped vessel are ingredients ground with a pestle?
Mortar.
Yes. Who stepped down from his post as England rugby union coach in September 2004?
Pass.
Which phrase meaning sentimentally childish and insipid is derived from the name of Ambrose Phillips, whose pastoral verses were mocked by other writers such as Pope?
Namby-pamby.
Yes, the Russian naval base of Kronstadt was built by Peter the Great to protect the approaches to which city?
St. Petersburg.
Yes, which bird is featured in Salvador Dali's 1949 painting Leda Atomica?
Pass.
Who became American Vice President on the inauguration of George W. Bush in January 2001?
Pass.
What type of smoked fish is used for the Scottish dish Cullen skink?
Haddock.
Yes. Which Chinese martial art has 5 basic foot positions, the normal upright stance plus 4 stances called dragon, frog, horse riding and snake?
Kung Fu.
Yes. Whose first novel, published in 1905, was Where Angels Fear to Tread?
E.M. Forster.
Yes. Which Scottish physicist in 1873 provided the first conclusive evidence that light consisted of electromagnetic waves?
Clark Maxwell.
Yes. Which composer's masterpiece, Prince Igor, was completed after his death by Rimsky-Korsakov and Glazunov?
Borodin.
Yes. Which British rock band's debut album, Hopes and Fears, went straight into the UK album charts at number 1 in May 2004?
Pass.
A lodestone was used by navigators as an early form of which instrument?
Magnet.
Compass.
Compass.
Which classic 1939 Western film directed by John Ford stars John Wayne as the Ringo Kid?
Stagecoach.
Yes, the first practical version of which writing implement was produced by the American inventor Lewis E. Waterman in 1884?
Typewriter.
Fountain pen. Which geometric shape would you find on the front of a £5 note as an aid to the visually impaired?
Pass.
Pioneer 10, launched from Cape Canaveral on 2nd of March 1972, was the first probe to which planet?
Mars.
Jupiter. Who's been the Conservative MP for Richmond, North Yorkshire since a by-election in February 1989?
Pass.
What name is given to a piece of wood, frequently an old spade handle, used for making holes in which to plant seedlings?
Dibber.
Yes. In which city is the 12th century house of Aaron the Jew said to be one of the oldest inhabited houses in England?
York.
Lincoln. 6 passes. William Hague is still the MP for Richmond, North Yorkshire. A circle is the shape on the front of a £5 note. Keane is that British rock band. Dick Cheney became Vice President. Sir Clive Woodward was the England coach. And the bird featured in Salvador Dali's 49 painting was a swan. 6 passes. Godfrey Newham, 21 points.
Thank you very much.
And now Tom King, please. A man who is interested in Piers of the English Seaside.
Oh, it's become an obsession, I'd say, recently. As I've travelled about 1,000 miles trying to spot and walk every pier in the country in the past month or so.
And they're not dead. I mean, they had a pretty rough time when we all started going to Costa Brava for our holidays and things, but now they're coming back again.
Yes, there was a terrible depredation rate. I mean, the biggest single disaster for piers was the Second World War. A lot of them went down then, and then, as you say, the end of the traditional British seaside holiday was another blow to piers. Many piers were lost then, and then, of course, recently we've had this sort of growth where piers are seen as part of the British heritage, and most people love them.
Indeed.
Particularly when they pay for themselves.
Ah, indeed. Well, they've done you proud, 15 points, and you have 22 points to beat. Let's see if you can do it with general knowledge. During Prohibition in the United States, what name was given to a person who made or supplied illicit alcohol?
Hooshmaker.
Bootlegger. Who succeeded Roy Plumley as presenter of Desert Island Disc, presenting the programme between 1986 and 88?
Sue Lawley.
Michael Parkinson. What word can mean a brownish crimson colour and a detonating firework used as a warning signal?
A squib.
A maroon. The autonomous Jewish region Birobijan is part of which country?
Pass.
Which indigenous British flowering plant develops the largest bloom, reaching up to 20 centimetres in diameter?
Sunflower.
Water lily. What name was given to the shade of grey adopted for uniforms in the German army in World War I?
Pass.
Frans Hal's painting Young Man with a Skull, Vanitas, was for a long time thought to be a painting of which Shakespearean character?
Falstaff.
Hamlet. What phrase that was to become Bill Clinton's election mantra was coined in 1992 by the Democratic strategist James Carville?
It's the economy stupid.
Yes. Which city is the capital and chief port of the Northern Territory of Australia?
Darwin.
Yes. Which film star's coffin mysteriously disappeared from its burial place in Vevey, Switzerland in March 1978, turning up 10 miles away 2 months later?
Chaplin.
Yes. Which cabinet minister stepped down at the 2005 general election to become the UK High Commissioner to South Africa?
Pass.
What term is used for the pace of a horse between a walk and a canter when its legs are moving together diagonally?
Trot.
Yes. Which commodity is produced by the process known as saponification, where fat is decomposed by the addition of an alkali?
Clarification.
Soap. What name is given to the blue and white flag flown by a ship about to leave port?
Blue Ensign.
Blue Peter. Which American author wrote the story on which Benjamin Britten based his 1951 opera Billy Budd?
Herman Melville.
Yes. In golf, which former Masters champion captained the victorious 2004 European Ryder Cup team?
Pass.
Alfred Bestel wrote and illustrated which British cartoon stripped for 30 years from 1935?
Jane.
Rupert Bear. Which dessert is made of curds created by adding rennet to milk?
Pass.
Known as the fifth Beatle, which record producer was knighted in the 1996 birthday honours list?
Pass.
I can tell you it was George Martin. Your other passes, that dessert is known as junket. Bernhard Langer was the golfer in question. Paul Boateng was the minister who became a UK High Commissioner. Field grey was the shade of grey adopted for German uniforms. And the autonomous Jewish region of Birobijan is in Russia. Tom King, 6 passes, 20 points. Well, it doesn't get any closer than that. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 20 points, Tom King. 3rd place with 21 points, Godfrey Newham. 2nd place with 22 points and 8 passes, Thomas Dyer. In 1st place with 22 points and 7 passes, Robin Chapman. So those passes do count. We're going to be seeing Robin Chapman next time when he takes his place in our grand final. Congratulations to him. Do join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Ewan McGregor narrates the difficulties facing the wildlife of the Hebrides, Islands on the Edge, tonight at 9 on BBC Two.